Kia ora, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. We're down to the Chapter 2 Map 1 boss, Professor X, and I'm just going to show a couple of ways to handle this guy. Now, you know, he's cornered, crit resistance, footloose, and the falter, so the kind of annoying thing about this guy is you can't really rely on debuffs because he's going to pretty much when he's got debuffs on, like bleed or shock. I didn't notice at the time I was fighting him to begin with, but he basically gains more power the more you hit him. As you can see there, he gained almost a bar power. Also, after his specials, because of that Footloose node, he's got Unstoppable. He also has Evade, and obviously as well, he's got Falter as part of his ability. So it doesn't take a lot to mess up. And it takes just one mess up, and this guy can basically take you down for full life. So there is a few good counters that I've found. And here I use a combination of Warlock and I think Doom and Human Torch. So Warlock is a great one because on his parry he power drains Prof X, and that drops down his charges basically. So he doesn't get up to 100s, because as soon as he gets up to 100 he goes into that weird state where he holds your power, and then he just keeps throwing special after special, and he gains and he gains power with that. So the more you can drain him, the better. So Warlock has generally been kind of my go-to guy for this, but I think here he probably is going to get an SP3, or he's going to clip me. The SP2 is easy to evade. The funky thing is, normally when you fight this guy, he throws his SP1 or SP2, and then he goes immediately into channeling. This is kind of how the AI works, and often you can go in there and interrupt the channel straight away. However, because of the Footloose, it means that you have to just sit back and let him channel, and that makes things pretty hard. So you can see there, I'm going pretty well, but he gets his falter at an inconvenient time. I miss that shot, and then it kind of ruins the rest of my run. But Warlock is pretty good. He took pretty much half his life down, so I didn't have to use revives, I don't think, in this one. But yeah, Doom is another good option, and actually one that I didn't really play very well with the very first time, but you'll see in the second half of the video that Doom, for me, is actually the best option against this guy, right? And I've been able to take care of this guy multiple times without revives, one-shotting him with Doom. So at the beginning, I'm kind of using a little bit of the wrong strategy here, I think. And I hit the SP2, because the thing is, I forgot about cornered, right? And cornered means that any time he has a debuff on him, he gains power even quicker. So when I hit him with the first medium, those 3 hits are raising his power. So you really, with Doom, you don't want to have that shock on him, and you definitely don't want to be hitting the SP2 and incinerating him. What you want to do is you want to be doing heavy, medium, heavy. You want to get that shock off as soon as possible. Get your SP1 straight away. Then that way you're able to more easily drain his power. Now with Human Torch, I did use his pre-fight ability, and the reason for that is because with the pre-fight ability, basically your incinerates are no longer debuffs, right? They are like cold snap, they don't count as debuffs, and so what that means is he doesn't have that cornered. That and the fact that you just do an insane amount of damage, and also at high temperature you don't miss, you don't even have to worry about the falter. So all you really need to do is worry about missing out the SP1, which is pretty easy, and the SP2. So as you can see there, I finished this with those 3 guys without having to do any revives. But in the next bit, I'm going to show you how you can one-shot him with Doom quite easily, right? So those are my 3 kind of go-to against Professor X. But in this one, I come in and I'm using only Doom for this. And you'll see the strategy is a little bit different. I'm going to go medium, I'm going to go heavy, I'm going to remove that shock as soon as I can. And then what I want to do is I want to get to the SP1 as soon as I can, right? Now, the thing is, you will get those falters. You'll get them quite a lot, and that's okay, because with Doom as well, you have a power drain on your light, which means that his charges don't go very far. And you also have that SP1, which kind of helps you get in the game, because the more his power goes ahead of you, you can still kind of keep him in check. Now, what you really want to do is basically get to that SP3. So I'm going to wait here, and then once I'm able to get to that SP3, things are going to get quite easy. I'm going to push him as far into his power range as I can. Then I'm going to throw that SP. That means there's more power for me to pull out of the SP1. So once we get into this rotation, it's going to be quite nice and simple. But it's not the normal Doom rotation. So yes, I'm going to go light, medium, medium. I'm going to throw the SP1. But now here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wait. He's probably going to have to throw a special, right? You can't. And when he hits that falter, you kind of just have to just let that falter run out, which is the red thing, either in the top right or the top left, depending on which side you're looking. So here again, I'm going to push him to his SP3. I'm going to throw mine, and that's no problem, because the more power he has, the more power I can gain back. But then there's going to be a pause between that and the rotation. So we're going to throw the SP3. He's going to be stunned. We're going to go on with like a double medium, light, medium, medium. I'm going to throw the SP1, and so long as you don't have that shock on for very long, it's really not a big deal. You know, you can kind of deal with that corner quite easily. And once again, I'm just going to wait here with the falter, and then parry, and then we're going to parry again. We're going to get in, we're going to throw the SP3 and continue that rotation. And with that, it makes it very, very easy for Doom. Now, this was not the greatest fight, honestly, in the world, this particular one. I didn't record all of them because I started just one-shotting him all the time with Doom. So, but this will give you the idea of how you can really take care of this guy with Doom. So hopefully this helps, guys. If it did, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Ka kite ano, bros and girls.